Welcome. We call this meeting to order. This is the Tree and Sidewalk Board for the City of Rochester. We'll start off this morning with a pledge of allegiance. This morning, this evening, this afternoon, whatever it is. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call. We have 4 out of 5 members here. We're missing Phil Klein. We also have Amy Rowe in the room somewhere. She just disappeared for a moment. And that is, so it's Phil, myself, Eric, Jim, and Anna. I'm just saying this so it's all on the
recording.
All on the recording if you need to go back through it or something along that line. Minutes of the previous meeting, they were submitted or sent out via email. There was one comment on the meeting. We need to change, or on the minutes, we'll get that corrected. We've got the council liaison for the city of Rochester on the wrong person. We will get that corrected. Is there any other comments on the minutes from the last meeting?
Item 5, A4. $73,000 for 7 trees.
Again, Amy still got my minutes. I'm waiting. Oh, here she comes. You?
So
Item 5.
just for clarity, that's 73,000. That's all. That's the.
Where are we at, Jim?
Uh,
Oh, under trees, old business?
Yes.
the whole business. A. Room numeral 4.
He looked at the trees on 14th Street. Is that where you're at? And what should it say?
Well, I'm not sure. I'm just double checking. It says which was $73,000 for the trees. It's still $73,000 for the entire project. Sidewalk project, of which is 7 trees.
Phil?
are included.
So you had a quote and you gave me a copy of that quote, which I have at home. So I'll double check that. And I'll correct that if that's not right.
Well, the quote would have come from Dwayne. I never got it.
Somebody handed me a quote or it was sent to me, but I will double check that.
Okay, but I think what Jim is saying, that's for the total project. And the way this reads, it sounds like it's for the 7 trees.
Right. Well, the whole point of that number 4 was talking about the 7 trees. So I just need to know how much it was. To
Oh,
take.
once you get the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
so you'll correct the dollar amount then?
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
okay.
Phil, do you need a agenda? Did you get a copy of the minutes?
Yeah.
I don't think you were here anyway, right? Last time, were you?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Was there anything else that anybody sees that I need to? So I'll just put the correct amount there, guys. I'll put the correct amount there and just resubmit by email, so you'll know that I changed that. Okay, thank you.
Live stream started.
Are there any other comments or?
Make a motion to approve,
I'll second
Motion has been made.
as amended, I guess.
it.
Yes, as amended.
Motion has been made and seconded to approve the minutes as amended. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Motion passes. All right. Old business, tree removal request. We're still working on that. Jim looked at a couple of trees that, had been submitted to us, or one, two, that is probably going to be, um, we'll have to defer that one to Duke Energy. That was 1114 Monroe Street, was a recent submittal. I've also got one at 1426 Main Street. That one's going to be a problem being on Main, maybe. We'll might have to deal with state highway on that one. It's far enough down.
That might, on 14, that might be one of the two that already has a good trouble. 1400.
Okay, so that one I've been taking care of. That one I got just recently. This one I think I looked at. I see on the agenda there's 430 East 13th Street, which interestingly, I don't seem to have a removal request for.
That was the one the mayor brought up last time he was here.
430 East.
Epson.
It is, I've got it, here it is. Yeah, that one has been, Jim and I need to talk about that one a little bit. That's a gigantic stump. That's gonna take most of our budget just to remove the stump. Including possibly sidewalk replacement, as big as that stump is going to be. So we need to kind of strategize on that tree and see what we can do with it. Before we get too far.
Can I ask a question before you move too much farther?
Yes,
What's the deal on that 1114 Monroe, something about Duke Energy?
yeah, the trees are actually in the alley.
Oh.
And
Just one.
or one of them, okay. It's got power lines running through it.
I see that.
We don't, yeah, that's really more of an issue for Duke than it is. And
So
plus,
just a trimming thing, you mean?
well, the problem is, number one, as far as I'm aware, the tree board does not handle any trees in the alleys.
Yeah.
Number two is it's in a utility easement. It's got power lines through it. Ugly truck won't touch it either. Because of the power lines, they don't want that responsibility. So this is really a tree that needs to be handed back to Duke.
Okay.
And probably the homeowner needs to make that request. So.
What's that address?
That one is.
You said it was 1114 Monroe.
1114 Monroe. You know, looking at your photos, I think I've looked at that tree before. So I'm trying to start a new system to keep track of removal requests, so maybe we can have somebody duplicate requests. Next thing on the item is Arbor Day events at the Nickel Plate.
Yes, so Amy, we are able to get a hold of Julie? She
I
sent
talked to
me,
Julie about it today, and as long as you sent that to me, I can.
I did send it to you.
It's on Messenger.
Everything's online now and I couldn't sign us up for a booth. It was crazy. I couldn't make it work, so. Hopefully Amy can get with Julie and we will have a booth. So. What do you got there?
I have the backdrop for the booth.
Oh, nice. What is it?
This is a 4x6 Arbor Day Tree City flag
Oh, nice.
that we can use for the booth. So
Awesome.
I'm starting to put together some things. As far as we get a new flag every couple of years from the Tree City.
Oh,
We
nice.
also get, and we've never put them up, or nobody has,
That will
We
look
also
nice back
have-
there.
Oh, is that supposed to go on the actual
on the
signs?
signs, yeah.
Dwayne will be here in about 5 minutes, so you can talk to him about
Yeah,
that.
it should be.
Once you put them up, they just go over the old ones, just like a BMV
Oh, okay.
sticker on your license plate. And then every few years, they'll send you a new sign. So I know one sign probably needs replaced because of graffiti, but that's a whole nother.
We'll see that nickel plate then, I think is in 2 weeks, is it?
It's the 23rd.
So it's a little ways off.
It'll be here before you know
I
it.
know. So,
Hey, Eric, can we go back for a second? Sorry, I was asking, she just got to be really good about the trees in the alleys.
Yeah, did you,
I
are you
know you
contacting
said
him?
something about that. and
I am
was-
not
Okay.
contacting.
Okay, I didn't know, but-
That's, I will contact the homeowner and tell them
But
that
they need to
they
contact
need to
you.
get a hold of you.
Okay.
I'll see if I can dig up a phone number. I had one at one point.
Yeah.
So
Oh, I
those are
agree.
not trees that the tree board actually attends
We
to.
we have no jurisdiction
Okay.
on.
Over
alley
trees
trees.
in the
As far
actual
as I
alleyway.
know,
Okay,
we
Okay.
have no jurisdiction on alley trees.
Okay, perfect, thank you. So, under your jurisdiction.
So, somebody may tell us differently in certain locations, but the way I understand it,
I always thought Duke handled all those.
yeah, that's,
who makes that determination as far as the jurisdiction? Is that something that the city decides, or is that?
it's easements.
So
It's,
basically-
you gotta look up the easements on each property.
We know the right of way for where it is.
Yeah.
On the street side, but the alley side is what is questionable.
I don't.
Generally, If you read the,
Cause somebody actually asked me about that in another situation and I didn't know the answer to. Communicate to them
I'll have to dig a little bit, but somewhere it is in the ordinance act or as well.
in the tree board ordinance?
So
We
I've,
have that right
I've
here.
read it at some point, what we have jurisdiction of.
Sorry, that's what it's.
I've read it somewhere, but I've read so many laws lately, I
Oh,
can't
yes.
tell you where. I can almost 312 IAC 18 right now. Anyway,
So do you have the tree that you're gonna prune at the nickel plate?
nope,
But you are gonna do that, right?
yeah, we can do something. I'll do tree planting, tree pruning, we'll mess with a couple of things.
Okay, so did you tell me that you had a tent?
I do.
Okay,
I have a 10 by 10 canopy.
okay, that sounds good. And I think we decided on a basket, right? I'd have to
Yeah.
look at the,
I
look
think
at the
we-
minutes. It wasn't in this one, but I think we decided
Oh.
on a basket.
The other thing we could
A
do is
giveaway.
give away the trees. I don't want them. I'll buy them, but I don't want them.
Okay,
So if I can get a couple of trees.
yeah, why don't
and-
we just do that instead of making a basket?
Yeah.
Okay,
Save me a lot of money.
okay,
We can talk about that a little bit. We'll have to get tickets and. That should be easy.
here comes Dwayne.
Yeah.
Okay,
Anything else on the nickel plate? If anybody's available, please make yourself available. We'll talk sidewalk. On the 23rd, I've got that day scheduled to be there, so. You
I'll
know,
be in the tent right next to you, so I can help when you want. Either have lunch or whatever.
okay, so somebody dropping in and just talking and shaking hands and all that type of stuff would be rather nice. Number 3 is
Is there
updated.
anything we can do? I'm sorry, I
Oh.
keep interrupting you. I am so
You're
sorry.
fine.
Is there anything we can do? Let's say, Phil, you know what we're talking about, the nickel plate, right? So you know what the nickel plate is? Okay, so we're gonna have a booth
It's a
there.
Nickel Plate Arts and
Okay.
Music.
Yeah.
Right,
Festival.
and you have to do something artsy, so therefore he's gonna prune a tree. That's
Okay.
pretty artsy.
Okay.
He's gonna make it look like art.
And
And so I was wondering, is there any kind of giveaway we could
No.
manage for sidewalks?
Edger.
I don't know if we can afford an edger.
Sure. Yeah.
What?
A snow shovel.
We could afford a snow shovel.
It's gonna be going into snow season, so.
We'll take it out of the mayor's budget.
The edger?
Not here.
I'm gonna sign up for that.
Well, he has a budget for those kind of things.
Oh, he does?
Yes.
So if I actually buy something, I just keep the receipt, right? And how much can I spend?
Well, that's exactly it. It's
Well-
not really lined out by that sort of thing and just something reasonable. I'm not spending
Yeah.
$1,000 on a shovel. Are you talking about more than one shovel? You're talking 5 or 6?
So tell me what you want and we'll
Get
take
it?
care of getting it. You just-
Okay. I think a nice snow shovel would be appropriate.
We had talked about originally a small, like gift basket, gloves, pruners,
Okay.
that type of thing in a basket just to give away. But if I'm gonna bring those trees in, I don't want them. I can either give them away to somebody who attends the,
Maybe you could have half trees and half shovels, so it's like half the sidewalk board and half the tree board.
So he's gonna
Well-
have 2 trees.
well, but we can also, the thing about a raffle is if you can collect email addresses and that type of thing, create a list of people who are interested enough what's going on so we can spam their inbox.
You're
Oh,
saying
I
that
got-
on live TV.
I was gonna say, yeah, exactly, we're live streaming here.
2 nice shovels, not Walmart cheapies, please.
My-
Nice snow
They
shovels.
could be the friends of the
Okay.
sidewalk.
Well, yeah, if we want to start a friends group with the tree board,
I
it's
like
a great
that.
way to record.
Yeah, the-
And by the way, if you haven't figured out, sarcasm is my love language.
There you go.
There you go, well.
So,
So we do have, I don't know what city, but I know the parks, we do have a budget for promotional items. And so we can probably
We'll look
figure
at it.
something out,
Yeah.
but
Well, I would like something to do with trees, which Eric's gonna do the trees, so
Okay.
something to do with
I-
sidewalks.
it may be too short to do this, but I was in, what county was I in? And the tree board, sidewalk committee, what Parks Department, somebody gave away little bells with their logo printed on it that go on bicycles for kids.
Oh, that's
Oh.
cute. Also, you could ride your bicycle on the.
Sidewalk.
Yeah, and they're just real tiny. In fact, I grabbed one and it's now on my bike and my dog drives me nuts with it on the tandem. So anyway, so something like that with a little bit of planning, if we had a logo or something, we could, do something like that and you can get,
Well, we'll have you.
yeah, the city of Rochester.
I have
Yeah,
not.
they have a city of Rochester logo probably,
You
right?
know,
that might.
just to add to that, what we need is we can put a little tag on it with a little card that has the ordinance number that says that you take care of shoveling your.
That's
And then
nice.
can- and then can we put
Here's the
rain
rules
border
related
at
to
the
this
bottom of
shovel. I feel
that?
like I found a gift. That might be.
I was gonna say.
Questions and I'll.
You know,
put
there's
their
a-
phone
there's a
number
definitely-
on there.
That's right. Any questions, call Dwayne Border.
At this number.
But, so it is probably way too short to try and get
Yeah, I would
something
assume.
printed
yeah.
like that. But it's definitely an idea. If we can get the budget, maybe at the end of the year, use some leftover money to get something like this so that we have it for events and other things. I have no idea what those little bills cost, but they had every kid in the room's attention. So,
Who developed the logo for the parks?
That was,
Jessica.
Jessica, yeah.
Okay.
Mhm.
we could even do a variation of the parks logo.
I was gonna say we could, I like those little logos for the individual departments of
Entities.
entities,
Like the
boards and things,
stormwater
yeah.
and-
Yeah, the stormwater one looks good. And Randy designed that one. That's really neat.
Yeah.
We can kind of come up with a theme and a variation on.
It could be a sidewalk with a tree in the middle.
That's what I was thinking.
All cut out.
That's against ordinance.
We're going out around it.
Oh, goodness. Can I ask Dwayne a question about the alley trees? Is that acceptable?
No, you cannot.
We had a conversation before you came in about whose jurisdiction is it for trees in the alleys?
That's always a tough one, but it depends on the right of way that's in the alley.
Way to
So
go.
how do you know
How do
what
you
the
know what
rules
it is?
are?
So there is we have that on our GIS. That will show whether it's in or out. In fact, I want to speak about that for a couple trees that we got going on. But yeah, we do. We can determine whether it's inside of our jurisdiction or not.
So the homeowner, how is it easy for them to figure that out?
So you can go to the GIS map for Fulton County on the website, which is fairly accurate. So they can look and see if it is or not. because it will define the property lines for each lot.
Okay, interesting.
So can I just ask a real quick question? Yes, Dwayne. So certain alleys are considered the city's property when it comes to trees. Is that what you're telling me?
So, yes, essentially, and I need to speak about that because we've got some trees we're taking down that are in alleys. And so, you know, those are coming out of my budget. They're not coming out of the tree board budget, but yeah, we have some issues with trees and alleys.
I'm gonna put that under new business. So he was talking about, Eric was talking about a tree. Which one was it, Eric? Oh, 1114 Monroe. And he was going to punt that to Duke because it's all kinds of wires in it.
So we've had issues with Duke on that, and again, this is one of the trees I need to talk about. Is one of those that we try to get Duke to take care of because the tree is grown into their wires.
You saw the picture. We have the picture.
And in this case, the whole like 6 feet up, we've been watching this tree for the last 2 years. Their homeowner across the street had concerns about this tree because the way it was growing, if it ever broke off and fell, it'd fall in their house. And just within the last couple of weeks, when I went by this, I noticed the tree had gotten considerably worse. And so Duke doesn't want to do anything with it. The way they look at it, it's not their problem.
It's their wires though, right?
I know, and they've spent the last, like, from January till just recently, they've been in Rochester clearing trees that they perceived were problems. But for some reason, I don't know why they didn't do anything with this one, but it's gotten to the point where this particular tree has to come down. I mean, it's like, no question, it has to come down.
Is that
That's the one
particular?
that has a shed on either side of it.
Well, to get to it, this tree is at, it's on Fulton by 11th Street. If you just go north 11th Street to the alley, it's actually on the property that belongs to the house that's on 10th Street. But the whole tree is leaning out over and into their house. And so just like the other day when I noticed, like 6 or 8 feet up from the base of the tree, you can see where water is already bleeding through the tree and it's rotting. And so it's not going to be long, and it's on both sides of the tree. And so I've already contacted Ugly Tree Service to take that tree down so that we don't have an issue with that, because I mean, the homeowners already identified it as a tree that's a problem. And so just to make sure that we don't get ourselves in trouble, I just went ahead and told them to take it down. And so that's going to come out of my budget because I have a budget for trees in the street department. We're just going to take it down so that we don't have a problem with it. It's not that big a tree. My guys could probably do it, but because it's in wires and all that, it's like, we're not touching this tree. So we're gonna go ahead and have it taken down by Ugly Tree Service. But yeah, that's the second one I've got this, in the sense we've met before, that I've had to deal with.
So do you think this 1114 Monroe would be a Rochester property?
I'd have to look at it. I'm not sure.
But you say it's on the website and there's a GIS map. It's easily
Yeah,
Oh, I'm
figured out.
looking at it right now, trying to figure out like, cause it shows the property lines, but I guess I don't know how you would see the tree.
some of them are really iffy.
Mhm.
Yeah. If it's a real concern and it looks like it's gonna be, it could potentially be property damage, we'll just take care of it. I mean, taxpayers pay money to, for something. And so I feel like if it's something that we can take care of and it's within our bounds, we'll do it. I mean, I'm not gonna argue over a tree.
Yeah.
I mean,
So are you gonna figure out if 1114 Monroe is the tree that we can take down?
I'll have to look, I don't know.
Yeah, so I'm gonna put that in the minutes then.
Okay. Yeah, just so you know, when I retire, I'm retiring to.
I don't think that that's a.
That'll still be on his to-do list, I'm sure.
Out west
You're
somewhere,
just hurting Eric's feelings. He is.
desert somewhere.
No, he's gotta put up with Cindy, so, you know.
She's an angel.
She is.
No, nothing says you have to always live with your wife.
Oh, gosh.
You're live, remember.
Yeah, that's recorded. I'll make sure she gets.
I know,
She might be watching
believe
right
me,
now.
we've already had some conversations tonight, it's, so, but it's all good.
You realize, or you
I
understand
have
what
two
that
pictures
means,
of
right?
that tree,
Mhm.
so I'll
Okay.
send them to you.
Okay, yeah, do that, please.
Yep.
Okay.
Thank you, Eric. I appreciate you letting us know.
No problem. It all needs to be discussed. Number 3, updated list of approved trees on the web. I don't have it on the web. I have the digital file, but if anybody wants a print copy, here is the species recommendation, which was approved December 5th of 2019.
So if I remember,
Approved by the city of Rochester, is that what you're saying? Okay.
And
if I remember the conversation from last time, it was from Mr. Fitzwalter. Wanted to make sure that the Rochester Downtown Partnership was
Putting in trees.
putting in trees that were on the approved.
Yeah,
I did send that message.
Okay, okay.
if anybody wants.
I,
I would like.
I would more be concerned, have you looked at those and do they all make sense?
Yeah,
Do you?
I wrote it.
Oh, okay.
So of course that makes perfect sense.
Whoever put the little trees on Main Street, did you approve that?
Well, this has been changed since then.
I almost got hit again tonight.
Really?
from a tree.
12th Street,
Changed.
Huh?
since then.
12th Street,
Yeah. Yeah. I just couldn't see as far, well, he was maybe probably coming quicker than,
No, 12th Street, that's the one by the Catholic Church. That-
no.
No.
Left down.
Oh, that's 13th, yeah.
Oh, it's 13.
No, it's 12.
Yeah.
Bill?
12th Street.
Catholic.
There's a list of
13th.
approved
Okay,
trees.
This is too bad.
I know. I got a complaint about the.
So that doesn't go on the web?
No,
It needs to, I just wrote a note to make sure before I get out of here, I will.
Dated to the tree and sidewalk board. I think I remember that.
I will email
Yeah, it
you
just says
a copy of what I have there. I've got it in a Word document. But that's the current approved list. You'll notice it's rather, in places it's vague. And the reason for that is horticulture is an industry that goes with the trends. If you say this plant, this plant, and this plant, well, give it 3 years, you won't be able to get any.
I guess that was going to be my next question. Not only do we need probably the approved list, but can we get the tree?
Yeah, and that's why there are several things on there that you don't commonly see in industry with the anticipation that they're up and coming in nursery industry. But yeah, that's always going to be the question is, the guys are going to grow in the industry what they can sell. And, but you'll notice that there's a few things in there on the bottom list at the end that are discouraged, undesirables. Now, if somebody was dead set on planting one of those trees, if it was the right tree in the right location, we could do it. The list is not carved in stone. And I think the phrasing in there makes that plain. At the beginning, it's not supposed to be, you plant these 6 trees and that's it.
Do we do any coordination with the stormwater? Because then the reason I asked that is I just got an email from, and because I deal with the soil and water people here in our county as well as everything else. But I got an email today from Megan that the DNR has an annual tree sale and we wanted to make an order for trees. Do you have any, is that something that we should probably look at as?
If they're doing the tree sale that I'm familiar with, they're selling trees.
Yeah.
By ordinance, we have to put in trees. And they sell them in 100 packs. If they're talking the Valonia tree sale, I'm very familiar with that.
I just got this from Megan today, so I don't.
Yeah, and it has been a discussion. In fact, it was in the original, when we got the inventory done, we also had a tree plan written up. And one of the suggestions in the tree plan was to start a city orchard, a place where we could grow up trees and have a replacement stock available. And there's a couple of different ways of doing that. And just at this point, there's been no interest at this point. I don't know that as a tree board, we're mature enough to handle that.
We have an empty lot on Pontiac Street.
Are you giving away my garden? On that Mr. Border.
But that could be part
But
of
you know
it.
what? I was thinking the same thing. I really was. I was thinking, why couldn't we have part of that? Tilled up and get some of these little trees
We
and,
have other areas we could probably consider doing that. Yeah.
but if it was by the community garden, then somebody would be watching it and.
I could go off onto a deep tangent about
Let's
gravel culture and the cost effectiveness of it.
Gravel
But-
culture.
It's really cool. It's a way to move bare root trees.
Hmm.
And increase the survivability of bare root trees. So that's really neat stuff, and we can talk much more in depth.
I just got that email today about trees from her. And so I didn't know if that was something we should look at or not.
Yeah, it'd be an awesome way to get trees, but you're going to have to grow them up before we can put them out on.
I did see where it said seedlings, so yeah, they're gonna be small.
All right, sidewalks.
Well, new business.
Oh,
Yep.
new business. Trees, new business. Okay.
I guess you already talked about your new business, so.
I do have some input
Oh,
there with the board. So this year it's been rough on the street department in that we've had this, like, every weekend we've had some kind of high wind storm, and literally for the past month, I've gotten called out every weekend for a tree down or part of a tree down that we've had to clear out of the street. The last one was a week ago. We had a tree just right over here that was down on a pickup truck, part of a tree. Part of a tree was down on Pontiac, one on Barrett Road. And where was the other one at? Maybe
You had one on Main Street, or maybe two on Main Street.
the one on Main Street was a storm before.
Oh, okay.
But it's like, it's just been one weekend after another we've had this thing. So just to update you, so, and the crazy thing, like, to start off with, we had this humongous limb on a tree at the city park. It was over the drive. And it was a day that was not stormy. And then just out of the blue, it just dropped. Like 10 minutes before that, there were two police cars sitting underneath where this was at, where they were discussing stuff, and they drove away because we got it on camera. And then just out of the blue, all the things decided to drop, and it was huge. And like a half hour before that, they had ended the summer parks program for the day, and you had all these cars in and out picking up kids and everything. And then all of a sudden, out of the blue, this thing just drops.
Oh
And so we had that, and we got that cleared. And then at just this past week at 931 Monroe, we had a lady call in, and she has a tree that's in our tree line, and it had a major limb that grew up out, and it was over her house, and it was completely rotted. The bark was off the tree and everything, and she's concerned about it. So I called Ugly Tree Service, and he went over and looked at it, and apparently it concerned them enough, they took it down right then. They didn't even wait, they took it down. And so then we had that last week. We went ahead and I told them to go ahead and take that tree down at Gregory Farm Village. And then split. That needs to come down. Then again, this is a storm damage. We had a tree in the alley off of 14th Street and Elm. A major portion of that came down during a storm and got in the lines. Duke Energy had to clear their stuff. And then on Sunday, 2 weeks ago, then I had to clear that out of the way, then for the guys to take care of it on Monday. I told you about the one on Fulton Street. And then we've got the trees on Main Street that we identified that they're gonna go ahead and take down.
I suggest you to add another one. Did you add that one?
Or the third one?
Yeah.
We may have. I mean, there's been so many, honestly,
Yeah.
lately. We have a tree at 217 West 4th Street that was damaged in an earlier storm. A major part of it broke off, so I've got them clearing that one. And then at 509 West 6th Street, again, there was a major portion of tree that broke off. I'm having them take that down too. So that's been our tree business from the street department perspective for the last month. So that's my update on trees. So, and at this point, all these are gonna come out of my budget for trees. So that's not out of your budget.
So all those will be removed before you do the inventory, correct?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's like,
So
So
that,
do we,
go ahead.
I just want to, do we replace those? Are they in the right of way?
I hope not.
Okay then.
We probably will, honestly.
No, I don't know.
So after they're cleared, we probably should look then at deciding what kind of tree needs to go.
Yeah.
If we need, want to put one back there.
That's our job.
Yeah,
It's becoming clear to me that what we need to do is prescription pruning. And that is hire a crew to come in and just go down and work the trees. They've been left way too long. There's way too many, I've got a list here of widow makers and other things that
right.
we need to get down or trim trees that they don't need removed, they need pruned. They need taken care of. And
before or after the inventory?
well, it's going to be probably after. But starting next year and probably take it by zones and start doing
What did you call that?
prescription pruning.
Company that does
Get the
that,
deadwood
or
out of it. Get the deadwood out.
I asked if there was a company that came in and do that.
Yeah. Well, we've had we've had this contractor from Duke Energy that has just mauled these trees. Some
Oh, no kidding.
have just been really,
Yeah, I know who they are.
Terrible.
yeah,
But utility pruning and prescription pruning are two very different things. And utility pruning is any one of those trees could take somebody's power out. And you draw, that's what they're trying to protect is the power lines. All outs in the middle of a thunder, whatever. That's what they're trying to protect from. So the pruning on those trees is radical. And sometimes, sometimes I think they would rather just take the trees down, but homeowners fight them and
Yeah.
right.
that sort of thing. So,
And they could do that legally, because I did actually get a text that said that they had pruned a tree of my home. I did not realize they could do that.
Right.
Without my permission.
Mhm.
yeah, if it's
So-
within 20 feet of the power lines, that's their utility easement. They can box the trees, they can V-cut them around the line, they can side prune them. There's all types of gnarly Frankenstein things they do to trees.
It is.
So are any of these trees that you're having problems with, are they by a sidewalk, in the sidewalk, rooting up
Some
the
are.
sidewalk?
Some are. Yeah. My
So
guys now, actually, our next thing is to go around. It's been long enough now. We can start seeing the hangers because the leaves are dead. And so we can see those in the trees, and we're gonna start taking some of those down where we can. But yeah, it's here, this has been a rough year for trees, really has.
So it sounds like Eric's solution would be helpful to you guys also, because if they were pruned correctly, then you wouldn't have to be taking them out with the storm. Is that right?
that's the intention of it, is start doing, more pruning and less removals.
So we have money in our
Less-
budget for that one?
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion.
Yeah, we're getting ready to do it.
Well, maybe we should put some
That-
money in for pruning then.
That's, you give me a couple $100,000 and I'll spend every ounce of it.
Yeah, I do have a question like on the new business. So the inventory was approved for this budget. Is that going to be done by the end of this budget?
The plan right now is September.
September, okay, because I know that that's gonna be,
I have not had a discussion with, I did talk directly to, yeah, it's another Phil Graff. And, I did have a conversation with him and he told us we were on the list for sometime around September. Maybe October. We're pretty late in the season. We'll get it done.
because it is, if I remember, that was asking me. The park, there's one in the park board, correct? There's one in there's two for the park board, one in the.
We
There's two
will be
in.
doing the golf course, the parks and the street trees. And before we start, we will have a map. They'll generate a map and say, we're looking at these trees. And we can say, no, not those, yes, those, and we can do some work on that. Where exactly we want the trees inventory. I have-
Golf in the parks is in the park board and that, and then the street tree, the one that needs.
Yeah. So,
I don't know why I put number one on there about sidewalk work and bids, Dwayne. I don't know why I put that on there. Did we have other questions about that?
I don't know.
Trees.
No, but I still have one for Dwayne. We can get back to it.
Oh, go ahead.
There should be a line item for the tree department and also for the parks.
Okay.
Dwayne, there's two trees I wonder if you take a look at, because they're dead. One's in front of Helt Realty.
Yes,
It's probably about as thick as my arm. That one's not a big deal. The other one's at 12th and Main on the west side in the north corner.
yep, I know what you're talking about.
And that one's not that big either.
But
But
actually, I wanted to talk about that because driving around, we do have several trees within the tree line that are dead. We've got one on Fifth Street, West Fifth Street that's like that. We have the one on 12th that you're talking about in Maine.
Lauren, next in miles.
In my travels during the day, I noticed these. We have several like that, and some of them are smaller too.
yeah,
They're not real.
Lauren, next in models.
And my guys are already planning on taking them down. We're gonna take those down. At some point in time. It's just right now, we've got so much other stuff we're dealing with that
okay.
they're not a hazard. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
they're dead. But I've noticed that we've got a lot of trees and they're smaller ones too. They're not real mature trees that, for whatever reason, they just don't have any leaves on them anymore. So,
it was a rough spring for trees, but also I wonder if some of those were some of our newer,
Yeah.
maybe our newer transplants that didn't get
Yeah.
watered or didn't get.
I wonder if one of the things you maybe ought to think about is getting them marked in some manner before all the leaves are gone off the trees. I wouldn't have any luck in October cutting a tree, because I probably couldn't tell the difference between one that had lost its leaves and one that had been dead for.
They'll
Yeah.
start sloughing bark pretty quick, so.
yeah. Yeah, we do. We've seen those and they
Okay.
are, we've had discussions about things coming down. I've just been kind of waiting. We've just been, honestly, we've been so overwhelmed with the storms this year.
Yeah.
Like every time, well, I mean, was it last weekend or the weekend before? Had a family over for a birthday for the kids and storm blew up and it's like, oh my wife said, I'm gonna get a phone call from the sheriff's department. And sure enough, we got 3 trees down here, another one down here, so just.
Yep.
All right. I don't know how usually. Yeah.
Wayne, in one of our email exchanges, you had mentioned what you referred to as the legacy trees on Main Street.
Yes.
And of course, we had that near catastrophe, 2 storms ago.
Mhm.
Would you be receptive to a couple of us walking Main Street and identifying trees we think should come down?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think that, yeah, and to that, I think the board probably needs to come up with a plan to replace all those trees on Main Street. Some of them are some real dangers to traffic if we have a large limb that breaks off. You know, in that one case, it was in a heavy traffic time. It was like 3 o'clock. It just happened that that thing broke off in that storm without hitting, and I don't know how, by the grace of God, we didn't have a car underneath there or anything, but man, that was a pretty significant limb that broke off. So, yeah, I think our long-term plan should be to look at replacing all of those trees along Main Street with something that won't be as big a hazard down the road. Yeah.
Then look at it.
So you wanna walk down Main Street and see what trees need to be replaced? Is that what I'm hearing?
Removed
Removed.
with high traffic.
Okay.
A lot of crab apples got planted along. Is that what you're referring to?
No.
No, it's the old.
Yeah, I mean.
Oh, some of the old growth
The old
stuff.
growth.
Yeah, and some of those trees may simply just need a little bit of crown thinning, a little bit of stress relief, and they could end up. You're never going to be 100% on trees. You know, you never know where that. Yeah, I've told so many people I don't do biopsies on trees. It's always an autopsy. So the only way to know whether it's going to fail is to cut it down. Which isn't terribly useful. So anyway.
I'm not quite sure why I put that on there. Yeah, I don't know if that needs,
A lot of the legacy trees that Wayne's referring to are the wrong species. They're silver maple that were planted because they grow fast
Yeah.
and they also get very brash and. Oh,
Got shallow roots.
The thing silver maples are great for is plugging sewer lines and heaving sidewalks. And
We have lots of them, huh?
we have a fair amount of
I
silver.
think we have tons of maples. I didn't even.
We are over 70% maple and if we ever got Asian longhorn beetle, that 70% would be gone. USDA would come in and
Well,
well,
the sugar maple. It's silver maple that we need to see.
the Norways aren't a whole lot better. And there's a lot of Norways.
They're considered invasive.
Yeah, that's a whole nother discussion too. On this, are we done with trees at this point?
yep.
On the sidewalks? Yeah, so the item I've got here on old business is sidewalk 50/50. Mayor Odell asked the decision be made about 50/50 money. Contact John Bowers of First Christian Church and McCarthy's if needed. So we have two, I guess, applications for 50/50 money.
So that's what this is. So
Yeah.
we never decided what that would look like. So Dwayne and I
Just send it to us.
Yep.
I sent it, yeah. So we, based on what the information we received from the comments that you guys made, we created this because what I understood is that we weren't sure about whether it's 50/50, 60/20, 40, whatever that is. So we just threw out a nebulous $2,000 per property, just because it seemed like nobody was willing to do the percentage. So we put 50 or 2,000 and then just took basically all of the other things that we had talked about and created this document that would be helpful and put in the program requirements and then a timeline and important dates, because we had talked about that timeline to help with what Randy had said, which was to help determine that we know the budget's $50,000, but if we do the timeline similar to this, then by the time that grant awards are announced, then the tree sidewalk board will know how much money is available to put towards sidewalks that are going to be taken out at no cost. And so other projects. So then that gives you, so let's say there's only 2 for 2026 budget right now that want to put an application in, depending upon when this gets approved, if this gets approved by the board as the cost share program details that wants to be done, then we put the timeline of the applications opening of September 1st.
Every year.
Every year, so that basically the application, they put the application in, the deadline to apply is November 30th, and then you guys would review it in the December meeting. Whoever wants to send a letter out would send a letter out. I don't know if that would be Kelly or whoever, to let them know that their application has been approved. And then you would know in January how much of the $50,000 you have left to do additional sidewalks. And then the sidewalk tree board could figure out where that money that is left would be spent most effectively. So that was what, taking all of the comments that everybody's been making for the last few months, as well as Randy's ideas and Dwayne's ideas, I crafted this to try to make it simple so it would be like a nice template. So I think it meets everyone's concerns and expectations as best as what I understood everybody to have come up with. So.
And I like it a lot better from our perspective, because everybody always says, go to the clerk treasurer's office. And it's much more explicit than this one little page that we have.
Right.
So,
And we put disclaimers that Dwayne had shared. Funding is limited and competitive. Submission of application does not guarantee approval. All projects must comply with city standards. Sidewalk tree board reserves the right to deploy unused funds towards city identified sidewalk projects. So no one can argue saying that, basically that they, we're making decisions without them. And then the portions of the project that include curb ramp installations for ADA accessibility will be addressed by the city of Rochester. So all of the things that Randy's been stating out loud, and Dwayne as well, from their perspective to help. So it just provides some structure for Beth in the office and the tree board and constituents to be able to, if they want to jump ahead of the free sidewalk thing, they can do this. They're just going to have to put a little money towards it, but they will get $2,000 per project towards that. So is there anything else I missed, Dwayne?
You covered it all.
So I tried to capture what everybody was thinking. I don't know if I captured it perfectly, but I try to listen to what you guys say. And
did you take this? Or you send it to them?
So this says applications open on September the 1st, but you said just a couple of minutes ago that we would look at applications in September.
no, and December.
We will look at applications in
Yeah,
December.
so if we follow this, so what Dwayne and I, when we were looking at the budget slash, what made sense to help to make sure that the street department and the tree board could do something that made sense, we went with September 1st because that's basically gives us an understanding, and Beth, because November, what is it, when the budget's actually approved? November.
It'll be done by.
Yeah.
It'll be done by September.
So when the applications are submitted by November 30th, then we will know 100% what the amount of money is, because we will already have went through the budget and it had been approved. So by the time the applications are supposed to be submitted, the sidewalk tree board will know exactly how much money they have to work with, which generally will be about $50,000, unless there's unless we can shake the trees and get more money. So, but we'll know what that is, or you guys will know what that is by the time the applications have to be submitted. So then you will have an understanding of how much money is out there. And then you look at the applications, and I would assume as long as they meet expectations, then if there's 5 applications times $2,000 each, it's $10,000 that basically comes off the top of the budget. So you'd only have $40,000 for the year to work on sidewalks. So then you guys could have a discussion after that sometime in January to say, hey, which areas of sidewalks, would you then want to put the money that is unencumbered towards with the sidewalks? And obviously, if there's any grants that Dwayne or Randy have, they would want to make sure that they are at the meeting that you guys discuss what sidewalks that you would put the extra money towards. So helps Beth, helps Randy, helps Dwayne, helps you guys to work within the system. And
So it opens up in September
yes,
and it closes
the applications have to be
And it
submitted by November
closes-
30th. So they have,
by November the 30th. Now, my question is, these applications, do they come here for approval?
they basically will be submitted to Beth.
And then you
And
guys are making
then once,
decisions.
yeah, so they'll be reviewed at the December meeting.
And as
So
long as they fit the,
as long as they fit the expectations, there would be
And-
no
right,
reason that you would
right.
say no.
then somebody from your office.
Unless it's
call these
past
people and tell them
$50,000.
They've won the money or what?
That's not many
Well,
people.
I think we would send a letter after you say the sidewalk tree board has met and your request has been approved, or,
Okay.
you know,
Right.
didn't qualify because it's really not in that bad shape. I don't know what we would do, but, you know, yeah,
Okay.
we would do that. I
So
just-
do we need to approve this tonight, Amy?
Well, it's August.
Well, you know what I was thinking.
Yes.
Seems like if you get these applications, some of them would require on-site.
They all require, that's why, you know, so it's, so then as we get them in, they would have to, because that is one of the requirements. It talks about, where does it say that? Site visit by the street department. So then as they're coming in, then Beth would have to work with the street department to go review them. And
Right.
so so that would be, hopefully they don't all come in by November 30th, or else from November 30th until the December meeting, then Dwayne would have a lot of sidewalks to review.
Right, so in that case, myself or Randy, we will go on site, check it out, make sure everything's okay, then we'll come to you and give you the recommendation to go ahead and approve it or not approve it. And then you guys can make your decisions in November or December, I guess would be.
December is what we said.
And then that way, then we know, starting in January, the decisions we need to make for any projects we want to do outside of that.
Now, are you anticipating a percentage?
So we just
Or
said
just up to
2,000,
2,000.
we just said $2,000 per project, yeah.
Yeah, I don't like that,
The
because.
last day of November is November 30th. Or, the meeting in December is December 2nd.
Uh,
Yeah, that's what I was wondering. It's
See.
gonna be kind of close. Well, why don't we
So-
say September and the end of October?
we can say that.
So
Or
in the,
November
we just-
15th or something.
in
Yeah,
November
we just
15th
chose a
would work, too.
random date that was
Yeah.
out there, so we can change that date.
in the past,
So you have more than one day to look at it.
Yeah,
we actually had the meetings for the third Thursday or third Tuesday. And then at one point, we actually had 2 meetings scheduled a month, and we just always said the second meeting was if there was any business. And there could be a possibility of putting 2 meetings. Oh my, that put it right about Christmas.
Yeah, I don't-
we're trying to make this easier for you,
Right.
and, you know, that's what,
I can't see a lot of people doing this right now.
I know.
I don't, but we wanna provide.
We have
the
2, we
opportunity.
know.
We have 2, we know that, so that,
So Phil,
We could schedule. We could review everything on the 1st of December, 2nd of December, whatever, and call for a second meeting
Or it could be done by
if necessary.
email.
yeah. So what date are, and then you had a suggestion
Well,
about what date are you thinking?
yeah,
Applications
you
open
can't-
from September
Anna.
1st to November.
You can't make a
November
decision
15th?
through email. You'll have to
That
do
gives
it
you
in a
2
meeting.
Okay,
Phil,
I missed that. What'd you say?
Back to the 2,000, and
And it was a nebulous number, we just chose a random number,
Okay.
so.
but I'm looking at, well, really, both that have come in are corner lots, so they've got corner sidewalk. And I guess in each case, both of them have purchased additional, so they've got almost a quarter of a block in 2 directions. You're gonna give them up to 2,000. And yet Gary and Anna wanna put a sidewalk in front of their 40-foot lot. And so you're gonna give them the 2,000.
Well,
I mean, that
Is there a
doesn't sound
better-
like it's
Yeah, I like that.
encouraging
We
the
just randomly
big guy
chose
to-
that. We randomly chose it. Is there a better suggestion?
So,
I don't
so
like
just to
doing it
address
based
that,
on
let me address that.
length.
So there is going to be a cost to do sidewalks regardless of whether we do it as a city or we provide that money for an individual to do it. And so if they have a project that takes the whole $2,000, yes, you're gonna have some that they're gonna spend, we're gonna provide the $2,000 to do this amount of sidewalk. But we as a city would spend that same amount to accomplish the same thing. And so the goal is to do the sidewalks. So if their project is only a $2,000 project, yeah, they're gonna have no cost. But at the same time, it's our sidewalk. And so they're getting that piece done. But it's our piece. Does that make sense? If we came in to do that ourselves, we would spend the same amount of money. Now we could put a limit on it and say that it's $2,000, but only up to 50% of a project. But then we're getting back into this percentage thing.
Then that messes up what you're gonna know, what you're.
Yeah,
overall.
so
I don't
it's
like
easier
that.
for us is to say, this is a set amount. You can spend $2,000 on a sidewalk. If it costs you $4,000, then you're gonna spend the extra $2,000. If it only costs $2,000 to get this done, we're gonna provide the $2,000. So,
I don't even have an idea. I've got a 60-foot lot. No, 60 or 80-foot wide lot. What will that sidewalk cost me?
probably 4 or 5 grand.
Okay.
So
I
it's
mean,
like being like
is
a
it
50-50.
possible? I mean, I don't know, Dwayne. So is it possible? So if I think I understand what Mayor Thompson is saying is like, so is there like an average size of a sidewalk? So what he's saying is their sidewalk is twice as, like their
standard.
property, like is twice the size of what my parents' sidewalk would be. So they're having more sidewalk to take care of per property versus what my parents would have, is what you're.
Yeah.
If I understand correctly. So then is there a way to say like, so it's like, maybe not per property, but per this linear sidewalk, or is that just getting?
Well,
to
that's the
weeds?
thing. I mean, if they've got a place where they only have to fix a sidewalk is only like 2 or 3 panels. So that's like 15 feet or 20 feet. But then that makes the rest of the sidewalk whole. Why wouldn't we, I mean, we would go ahead and spend, as a city, we'd go ahead and spend it to fix that anyway. They're identifying this piece as something that needs to be fixed. In the end, we're getting sidewalk, we're getting, good sidewalk out of it.
But we're just trying,
So-
I think what he's saying is how do we get fairness in the process, if you will? So if there's like per property, there's 2 sidewalks versus a property that has 1 sidewalk, right? Is that what you're saying?
But it's our
Two.
sidewalk.
Well, I know that, but
That's my question, is why are we even doing this and is it because they wanna jump ahead of
it's
having
because they wanna
everything?
jump
Exactly.
ahead.
Okay,
Yeah, if
that's
they wanna
fine.
jump ahead, then they can,
Right.
Okay,
know,
all right, that's
yeah,
one.
if they wanna put themselves ahead in the line, so
Right.
I don't know how to be fair in that, I guess, is what, and
My
I
concern
understand
on
it's
your
our
corners
sidewalks, but
is
at the
those
same
are gonna be
time.
ADA, that's gonna cost the city extra.
Yeah, always does.
Exactly, I'm just
Yeah.
pointing that out too.
But again, it's no different
But
than
we
we're
would do
gonna
it
go
anyway,
ahead
you're
and
right.
spend whatever we don't spend with these people, we're gonna spend to fix other sidewalk in front of other houses anyway.
Right.
So it's not, you're looking at it like they're getting a benefit from it, but they're not. The city is getting a benefit because they're identifying a piece that needs to be fixed. And so, okay, so maybe it takes 2,000 to fix this section, but that's a benefit to the city. It's not a benefit to them.
So you're almost
That's my
creating
question is-
a non-incentive to do the program, which is okay. I mean, because I think what he's saying is kind of a non-incentive. So it is the city that's receiving the benefit. I'm just trying to think through the devil's advocate, like you always say, is like, then it is, if they've got 2 corners, if it's a sidewalk here and a sidewalk there, which is really 2 versions of a sidewalk. So what is it, like $8,000 versus like my parents or my property, that's 1 version of a sidewalk. It could be a disincentive for them to jump ahead because it's gonna cost them more to do the 2 sidewalks, or they could just say, we
Well,
want this
Look at this
part of
way,
the property.
we could end up having 25 applicants that are all $2,000 projects.
Yeah.
The city just got $50,000 worth of improvements done on sidewalks. It's just that they're in pieces that
Right.
replace certain sections. So it's a benefit to the city, not to the individual. So
I don't think these two individuals that come to the board already is gonna complain about the price. I mean,
About the money that no matter what, they're just grateful
Right.
to
they,
receive
they
the
want to get the
$2,000.
sidewalks done,
right.
and
And if
so,
they're willing to spend the money, the extra money to do beyond the $2,000, that's still a benefit to the city.
Well, it's a
because we've
benefit to
gotten
them
that
too, is
sidewalk
what I
done.
think.
Yeah,
I
'cause
hear
they don't
Phil-
have to pay the
Benefit
whole
Phil
thing.
said to them as well, because they are saving 2,000. Is that what you're trying to say, Phil?
Yeah.
Because they're saving 2,000.
I think we could take this nut and bolt all day, all night long, but I think if we offer the sidewalk, we offer the homeowners $2,000 for a new sidewalk, most of them will go along with it. If it costs more, they'll probably pay for it. If it doesn't cost that much, as Dwayne is saying, it's a benefit for the city. And that's just what Mayor Odell wanted to do.
And
He wanted to do something for the city. He wanted something to do with the homeowners. Because the water rates were going up, different things were going up. And his thinking was, we're improving the city of Rochester. This is the way we're doing it. And I think with the value that you guys put in at $2,000 per property, I think it's a win-win all the way through.
Yeah, because it used to be 1,000.
Yeah.
And I felt like
Back in the
1,000 was
previous-
1,000 was just chintzy.
So should we take a vote?
Previous.
Yeah.
Who's doing
Yes.
the work?
Well, again, this will come back to the city on who is doing the work. But,
Because they have to
Oh.
submit the contractor estimate.
right. And we're the ones that are gonna evaluate that. So if we have a contractor that's gonna do 2,000, say they're gonna say it's gonna cost $2,000, but we know that it's like $1,000 job. We're gonna know that. We're the ones that are ultimately gonna approve it or not.
And that's your site work.
Right.
Part of the site visit is you reviewing
Right.
the stuff that before you send it to the board for
And the
final
site.
approval, just to
Right.
make sure that it's like looking at bid and make sure it meets expectations.
Right.
That's a great thing right there.
So, I mean, cause
I
it's
was
like,
wondering that, because
if they come in and they've only got like 2 panels to replace, like it's at a place where there's a tree, where it's, pushed up the sidewalk, they're gonna fix that. We know that it's not gonna take $2,000 to fix that.
And a company knows that the city's gonna give $2,000 and then their estimate just miraculously is $2,000.
Right. We're gonna know that. So we've done enough work with the contractors to know,
Is that pretty clear in here?
Okay.
but it's gonna be up to us. So ultimately, if we come to the board and we recommend that you do this job, it's because we've looked at it and we think that, whatever the cost is okay.
Should we add something in here about that then?
About what?
I mean, this just says site visit by street department for pre-approval, so should it say?
Well, we just kept it that way because the site visit is like multifaceted. Basically, because we talked about adding more language to it.
So somebody could talk.
Yeah, when the street department talks to them, that's
Okay.
part of their site visit
So,
is reviewing their
I
application.
mean, and you can say, you could call it the site visit by the sidewalk board or whatever, but myself or Randy's the one that's gonna do it.
Because it's the street department that's reviewing for basically making sure that it is, and that it meets expectations, and then you guys get to do the final,
Weed out the ones that don't really qualify.
yeah, weed out the ones that don't really qualify before they. The only thing that I was thinking about, Dwayne, and this was just me thinking, this after our conversation. So, can they get a permit? Before let me ask it like this, should they be receiving or obtaining a permit before they receive the final approval letter? Do you know what I'm saying? So like, we're asking them to submit an area plan building permit prior to them receiving approval from the sidewalk tree board.
I think the permit comes after.
So then we don't
Right,
want them
because if we
to
don't approve it,
That's what
And
I'm
they haven't spent
saying.
money for.
Where's that point at?
That's number, I was just thinking about that because we had our
Is that under
conversation.
program requirements?
Yeah, how to apply. It says area plan building permit, and we were talking about that today at the meeting this morning, and I was thinking, gosh, if they pay the money for that
Right.
and they get the permit, they're not getting a refund if they don't get it.
Right.
So maybe that should go,
After.
yeah.
After they.
Where would we put that?
I still don't see where you're at.
It's on the how to apply on page 2.
How to apply, complete the app form,
Well, you would just
Submit
say.
documentation.
submit documentation, await approval notification.
Maybe
begin
number
work.
4 could be,
Yeah, and wait approval notification, and after approval notification, just say get, obtain the permit.
like put that as number 4, and then number 5 is before
Yeah.
begin work after application is approved. Well, actually, it could be begin work after,
After permit's been, whatever.
I'll add about the area plan building permit and then begin work after application is approved, so that we're not having them pay for that and then not getting refunded. Does that
Right.
make sense?
You brought up a good point. I want to ask this question. If you have a sidewalk that you want to have done and you realize that it was done because this tree is sitting here with the roots has ripped it up, are we gonna have any kind of discussion about the tree? I mean, what's the point of fixing something if the roots are still gonna be, pardon?
He mumbled that, so
You-
somebody wouldn't
you
hear him.
remember that Penn State thing I asked everybody to try and.
You never sent me.
I
that.
know,
What did you do? What did
I
you
need to
do?
get Penn State, but there are alternatives to sidewalks. You know,
Well, that would
alternative-
probably though, or be a part of that site visit, right? So when they go out for the
Yeah.
site visit, our friends that love trees so much would be going and reviewing the trees.
Frankly, if it's.
and
a-
having a conversation with you or Jim to make sure that that is taken care of, correct?
Frankly, if it's an old silver maple, take it.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So there's an approved kill list, is that what you're saying?
Kind of,
I mean, I just don't see, I don't see it making, and you know, if you don't do something about the tree that's rooting up the
Well, I think
sidewalk.
that
Right,
goes to the
yeah.
site visit is
Well, I
like,
know,
We-
I just am making a comment about the sidewalks.
no, I understand that, but.
we have ask for a motion.
I move that we approve the City of Rochester Sidewalk Cost Share Program as amended. Amendment number 1 is moving the area plan building permit down to item 4. And then number 5, begin work, and number 6 is submit final paperwork.
Okay.
And then change the deadline to apply to November 15th.
Let me check that out. Right here. Oh, November 15th instead of November the 30th is what you're saying? Okay. Yeah. I'll second that. I'll second Jim's motion.
Motion has been made and seconded. Any more discussion?
All in favor?
Since I was the one that did all the walking around and took the inventory. Are we saying, say that there's one sidewalk that needs 2 sections done? The homeowner likes to have the sidewalk replaced. Are we going to do the whole section of their property? Is that what our thinking is?
So for this application right here, so in the case of what Mayor Thompson was saying, if the church or whoever it is that has the 2 hearts, for their application, they have the full property in. For that project, they would receive $2,000, similar to if someone like my mother or whoever has a section of sidewalk that it's related to property. So per property, no matter whether it's, you know, whatever the sidewalk is on the property, that's what the discussion point was, is they would receive $2,000 per property.
Maybe we should say
You're
up
still
to,
going from the smaller property down to just 2 or 3 sections as damage.
I mean, we say up to $2,000, but.
okay.
My question is that I did the inventory.
Mhm.
Some houses, there's only 2 or 3 sections that's bad, that needs to be replaced. But are we saying as a city, the $2,000, we're gonna replace the whole property line, or are we just gonna replace the sections that's bad?
We aren't replacing it.
I think he
We're
decides
not
that.
replacing it.
If they request that, they're gonna do the request for what they want replaced.
Yeah,
So if they wanna
Don't give me
replace the
more than
whole
2,000.
thing, we're only gonna provide $2,000.
Okay.
does that make sense?
What if they just want to replace two sections?
Well, then their
Up
application
to-
would be just
Up to $2,000.
up to 2,000.
So if it costs $500 to replace those two sections, then we'll pay the $500.
Cause it's a reimbursement grant, so they're submitting their invoice for reimbursement, so they don't get an additional, so if their invoice is 6,000, they'll get 2,000, if their invoice is 500, they'll get 500, so. Does that answer your question?
Well, that doesn't answer my question. I'm confused. I mean, so
I think
you're
you're
still worried about the roots. I mean, I'm worried from the money perspective on these budgets. So now I was thinking you're just doing 2,000. But now you're gonna be deciding how many
Well,
many
no, I mean.
panels. I mean,
No,
I
no, no,
I don't
no,
want us to be
they're
responsible for
no,
that.
They're not, we are not deciding how many panels, what it's, that's that.
You talked about reimbursing.
No,
From
just a
invoices,
second.
so I
So
wanna make it-
basically, whatever it is, like their application, which is right here. So the application that they will have to fix this a little bit, but whatever application we're fighting, they'll submit an application and they're gonna say, this is our project. This is because they have to have pictures and all that. This is what we want. This is the cost of that said project. It could be 2 panels, it could be the whole sidewalk, it could be 2 portions of the sidewalk. So we're not determining that. The city if they want to jump ahead, we are not determining what their project is. They're saying, these are what we want.
Right.
And based on that information submitted, as long as it gets pre-approved and there's no questions that make, nothing that stands out, then that will come here. And so the estimate will say, this is a project that's $500. They can have a project that's more than that, but they're only gonna get up to $2,000.
It did say up to, I thought.
Up to, yeah. Up to.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood that
Right,
part.
up
'cause
to.
I
So
thought-
because they may not need a full
Well,
sidewalk,
I know.
so.
And it could be.
I'm confused now.
Where
I'm,
we stand, there's a motion on the floor.
right.
But
I'm
in
not
the-
sure how I feel about voting. How about you, Phil?
I'm not sure either.
I mean, before I move.
What's the,
table it.
I guess, what's the,
I guess my question is, the homeowner wants to replace the sidewalk. So I understand now the homeowner has to take pictures. They have to have the measurements. And bring that and put that in the application. Is
Yes.
that what I'm hearing?
To the city, yep,
isn't also an estimate of the.
which is the normal process, which has always been that way.
Okay.
so we could, as an example, we could have 2 requests for assistance for sidewalks. One is, we have a customer or a homeowner that wants to replace the entire section in front of their house, and it costs $5,000. And we have another resident that only wants to replace 2 panels because one's heaved or whatever, or it's in bad shape, and that one's gonna cost $500. We would, if we approve those, we'll go out and look at them, say, yeah, that makes sense. Then we'll recommend to you provide the $2,000 for this $5,000 job and provide $500 or $700 to replace these sections. And then that's what we do.
I don't have a problem with that. But I think I understand where you're coming from, but to me, homeowner A is over here in zone 3 and homeowner 1 is over here in 1. They don't know how much they spent. They don't know how much they spent. So what makes a difference
Right.
if somebody gets $2,000 or somebody gets 500?
But it's the city is spending that money to
Right.
have that improvement done.
Right.
The difference is this customer or this citizen is willing to cough up the difference to have the whole thing done versus this section that needs just to be replaced. In the end, the city is benefited by the fact that they replaced a whole piece in front of their house. This one replaced a problem on just a couple section of theirs. The city gets that benefit because now we've we've done away with that trip hazard or whatever.
Well, and the constituent gets the benefit because they get to have their sidewalk replaced
Right.
faster.
I mean.
As well as receive money, they are receiving a portion of
Right.
that. So whether it's the full portion, like in your 500, so the
Right.
constituents also receive benefit.
So,
And
and
so-
then on the extreme, the other would be that we have, that we have 50 residents that have $1,000 jobs to replace sections. They're not doing full replacements, they're doing sections. But again, now the city has got the benefit of 50 areas within the city that has been repaired. It's
So-
not the homeowner that gets that benefit. We get that benefit,
But they kind of do
city,
because they
because
get
we've
their
eliminated
sidewalks replaced.
all of those problem areas around the city. So, because if we don't do that, then the other side of that is nobody does anything, and then we decide to spend $50,000
Wherever you want to.
wherever we want. We're still getting the city's still getting the same
Right.
benefit.
Yeah.
50,000, yeah.
So, and that would be, so if the $51,000, then that year, there would be no money for the sidewalk tree board
Right.
to decide to
Yep.
put it because it was decided by the people who wanted to jump ahead.
All right, we have a motion and a second on the floor. Is there any, cutting this down to discussion, let's keep it to direct questions or pros or cons? Just to keep the rambling and, just,
Like my stomach is rambling right now because I
Yeah.
want to eat.
me too. I haven't.
Have good questions though, and I think. it's
Yeah,
valid.
Yeah, valid questions, for sure.
I don't want to dissuade from.
I would also, I will make one comment on this. I see a couple of things that may need to be changed down the road. We can always try it and see what happens. If the plan doesn't work, I mean, at some point, $2,000 is going to be a pittance if inflation keeps going up on concrete. So, this will need to be altered and changed through time, and we can do that. But I think it's a great start. With that being said, is there anybody else have anything real quick? Seeing none, we'll go to a vote. All in favor? Those opposed? Motion passes.
Is that 5 out of 5?
So I will.
So that's another plus for our festival. Now we have something we can talk about.
Yeah.
Get some,
Sidewalks.
get some applications printed up and we'll.
Yeah.
Good idea.
The goal would be is come December, we've got that 50,000 spent and we don't have any more about for the year.
Ever?
Except, no, you have to be about trees. Trees, don't forget trees.
Okay, so.
I don't know that. The only thing I see is, once we approve it, the sidewalks, there should be a time frame that the homeowner will.
They do actually have a time frame in here.
it's in that ordinance there.
Yep.
They've got till
not an
July
ordinance, it's a
31st
Application.
to actually complete the project. So it's 180 days after that. So they've got till the end of like sidewalk season to do that, because then budget season starts again in August. And so basically get the money spent before the budget starts again in August is what Dwayne and I had put in there. So.
I just want to make sure that the homeowner didn't think that he's going to get sidewalk in January.
No, yeah. So basically, we put that in there as an expectation that they would spend the money by the end of July so that Beth can be prepared for the next budget season, so.
Yep. Okay.
We adjourned.
I have some updates on sidewalks.
Watch your face. You're live.
So the 14th Street project, I don't know, have you had a chance to go down?
Yes, I thought it looked really good.
And they did a
Oh, you
great
have it?
job.
That looks nice.
And so, so that project was roughly 65,000 and change. 50,000 is gonna come out of the sidewalk budget. We have 15,000 from the budget for ADA, right? Something like that.
Are we using the whole 50,000 for this?
Yeah, because.
Okay, got it. Well, I missed that 5 point. You're panicking me.
I thought we already went over that,
probably did, but I just need to
You
be
did.
assured. Okay.
Okay. And things that are, just so you're aware, but these are, kind of outside of us. We're having 14th Street, no wait, that's 14. So 4th Street, we have through the Community Crossings grant, we're redoing 4th Street from Main to the railroad tracks. We went ahead and included the sidewalk that's on the north side of the street as part of that project. So from Main Street to the railroad tracks, that sidewalk is also going to be redone. We included that in the Community Crossings grant project. So that is going to be started in September. And E&B Paving has that project. They're the ones that got the bid for that. Also on Apache Drive and Country Meadows, when we did that project out there, the one thing that we missed was there's an entrance into Country Meadows through the fence there for the kids to have access to it. And we missed that section of sidewalk. There's roughly 50 feet of sidewalk that we should have put in. And Todd Brooks is doing that. I just talked to him the other day. He's going to do that piece. And then there's a piece from State Road 14 in front of the Learning Center from State Road 14 to the existing sidewalk, which is another like 30 feet of sidewalk that he's going to put in. And then there's a detectable that needs to go in on that side. And across the street, he's going to have to take out a piece of concrete there of sidewalk to put in a detectable there that we missed. So that's going to be happening next week sometime. And that's going to come out of my street department budget. And then, yeah, so those are those two pieces there. And that's all I have for sidewalk.
Any other new business? That's awesome.
I know that is awesome, actually. That's
We tried.
6:30. 6:33, are we calling it?
Motion we adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
So that was by Phil Klein.
6:03.
Who seconded it?
No. Everybody?
Everybody but you.
No, I'm ready. We voted, Beth.
Everybody said, figure if everybody seconded.
Everybody second.
I'd rather like add the other part to the application that says like.
Hey, I have a question there. Those
the
trees